Hello. Hi, my name is Asger Didriksen, and this is my design partner, Nicole Wong. And this is our chair called Dawn, or in Arabic, pardon my pronunciation, Shuruk. We have drawn inspiration from the ancient Egyptian craftsman stool, mainly its robustness, its functionality. Yeah. Imagine the rounded seat carrying the celestial sphere and the 4 legs, each representing the cardinal points, and the rounded seat itself representing the sun.
Next slide, please. So the stool is designed for sustainable circularity by being built in just one natural material. Our main goal was to manufacture a stool that can be assembled without any glue. Thus, each part of the stool is easily changeable if it's ever broken. In order for it to be glueless, though, the precision of the angles and the thickness of the material had to be perfect. The legs are angled at 10 degrees inwards, and they stay locked in place when the 2.5 centimeter aprons go through the other 10-degree holes in the legs. In terms of sourcing the material, we decided to go with sisu and made sure each element of the stool had both light and dark wood to emphasize the contrast of the wood grain on each piece. Overall, the stool is designed to be flat-packed for low-carbon transport and easily disassembled for longevity.
Good job.
Oh, you took it out.
And now okay. Team number 2, حازم الزيكي, هبة محفوظ.
Hello, my name is Heba. The inspiration to our V stool was inspired from the vase stand from the 18th dynasty that was found in Egypt. The inspiration goes around the connection in the middle. We had to make an analysis to the connection to see how it was made. It was a tri-connection, and then we tried to separate it, and then we wanted to make the stool easily disassembled, so we created 3 parts. Yeah, we had already disassembled the hooks. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. it doesn't hold with the glue in the middle. It's connected to the legs with dowels. Okay, and it acts as a separate unit that can be replaced if ever broken. The wood we used was sisu wood, and of course there was a lot of cuts made in this piece, so we used our waste to create something else, and what we did with our waste will be explained by my team partner Hazem Zeki.
I'm Hazem Zeki, and I will talk about the seat. At the end of every woodworking project, we are left 2 extra things. The first one is a bundle of random cut-off scraps, and another thing, sawdust. So we think about to use sawdust in the seat. At the beginning of the process, I tested the process in a small version of mold and using 3 types of glue. And the mixture of this seat, I mix the sawdust with animal glue, and the drying process, I give the mold access to airflow to dry quickly and better. And the nice thing at the end of the process is it can be cut, it can be sanded like normal wood to be clean and nice. And thank you.
And group number 3, Natalia Sautjak, Caroline Bøtton, and Josie Andersen.
Then you can take a mic. Or go.
Hi, good evening. My name is Natalia. This is Josie and Carolina. Past few weeks, we were working together and designing this piece of furniture inspired by ancient Egypt. Silo stool is a sculptural piece of furniture. Consists of 3 parts, 2 symmetrical legs with cut out in the middle, and the seat, the rounded seat.
Okay, so at the beginning of our process, we looked at different objects from ancient Egypt. We, for example, looked at some vases and ceramic sculptures, which served as an inspiration for the lines and the curves of our stool. We also looked at the assembly of coffins and how they were rounded at the top.
So the sphere, which is also in ancient Egypt's chairs, are basically represented in the seat, and the stability is carrying the weight in the legs. Then, as my partner says, the way that you did the cooped joints in the coffins of mummies is basically the same technique you use in barrels for wine or beer. So that is, let's say, a connector from ancient Egypt to Danish culture as well. Love beer, right? So a lot of angles has been cut in order to construct this chair.
And now group number 4, Capucine Dybs and Nana Storm.
Good evening, everyone. So first, we would like to introduce ourselves, because this adventure was the occasion to mix Danish and Egyptian culture, but we are also from different countries, and I think it might have influenced our design. So I'm Capucine. I'm French-Japanese.
And I'm Nana. I'm Danish.
So, looking at the ancient Egyptian furniture, we were really inspired by all those curved and elegant shapes that we can find in every Egyptian stool, especially in the very famous folding stool that we can see up there, with those 2 curved pieces. And we were also really surprised to see that furniture itself could be wrapped with some material. It can also make us think about the embalming of mummies. And we really like this idea, this poetic idea of preserving and protecting something really precious with a material. So that's why we decided to name our stool Sa, which in ancient Egyptian language means protection.
Yeah, so bringing this way of wrapping something into our design, we wanted to create the illusion that the whole stool is being wrapped together only by the weaving of the rope. And also we wanted to make the design as slim and elegant as possible. So therefore we had to make a really thin construction. And for this, we wanted to make the legs as at Pinocchio, they are very specialized in using solid woods. We wanted to do this as well instead of laminating some wood. So for this, we looked at iconic Danish designs for inspiration for the joints. And this also made us focus more about the joining of the wood and this, like the beauty of this, and we wanted to embrace it. So therefore we lifted the seat a little to emphasize this joint. which also creates the illusion that the seat is levitating, and makes it very elegant. And for the materials, we used smoked beech, which has this pink tone to it, and that has like a nice, it complements the Danish paper yarn that we used for the weaving. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Team number 5 Ahmed Essam, Bassem Ashraf.
Hello everyone, I'm Ahmed Essam. We were the workaholic group of the project, so we came out with 2 stools. Bassem will start with this stool and then we will go to the next one.
Hi everyone. Like Essam said, we have 2 short stories. The first one is Hamtat. Hamtat in ancient Egyptian means 3. It is a stool that is designed for this assembly. This is it's a symmetrical part that you can assemble it this way, like Essam is showing us.
And then the 3D printed piece, which is made of 100% biodegradable plastic that leaves no microplastics behind, locks these 2 parts together, and then the leg goes in, locks the whole system, and then a very small dowel locks everything together. So if we do this,
you can disassemble the chair. So, yeah. And it's finished with flaxseed oil, which was very commonly used in ancient Egyptian. And the second short story is about scrap. Scrap is a stool that is designed from real scrap that was found at Pinocchio when we first started the project there. So these pieces are all the scrap, and we designed it to be this with this curve.
Yes, so everything but the 4 legs is scrap, and this 0.5 centimeter thickness is waste with Pinocchio's factory. So we thought maybe if we combine them together in this zigzag pattern, it would give it strength. From this side, it's very strong, but then it's very thin to either replace or customize if something breaks over time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Team number 6, Andrea Burelli and Mette Martinsen.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Andrea, and here's my partner, Mette, that you know by now. So tonight I'll present the rope stool. I'll go over our inspiration. So the first thing we looked at was the ancient Egyptian way of tying knots, and it really struck a chord to us. And from the beginning, we decided to go for that feature and thought it could be very interesting to develop that feature and see where it could lead us. And so we started to have a look at different pieces of furniture. And finally, as a reflection of this wonderful program, which is about exchange, we wanted to sprinkle a bit of traditional Danish design as well. So on the previous slide, maybe, you will better see the iconic and traditional weaving seats. And so we decided to bind these 2 features and to put them in a stool.
Yes, and the stool is meant to be low and wide and sturdy, and while still having a calm and minimal expression. So we wanted to construct a stool completely without any glue or metal,
So we really put a lot of effort into making the grooves and joints of the stool very precise. So in that way, only the tension of the rope held it together. And in order to make the paper yarn of the stool stand out, we chose the dark part of the local African scissor wood, which gives a nice contrast. And the quite large diameter of the legs and sticks gives this rope a soft curve to wrap around. So you have a nice soft edge, and the handles are also easier to grab when it's a good size for the hand. And the seat is woven in this Danish paper yarn in 2 directions, so it creates a soft and ergonomic curve to sit on. And the contrast between the smooth scissor wood and the Danish paper yarn is really making like a contrast between the roughness and the smoothness, and gives a good balance and tactile contrast.
Team number 7 مازن موسى عمر التوانسي.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Mazen Moussa, he's Omar Tawansi. First of all, our main idea with our stool, that we wanted to create a stool made of local materials, and as well to use the least amount of materials. So we didn't take only one inspiration from the ancient Egyptian. We wanted to make a fusion of how they took the structures. So we wanted to make a fusion from this structure that we can use a minimal cross sections of wood, and at the same time to be stiff. That's why we made this fusion of how the structure is made. And Omar will tell us more about how we did the top and the details.
It looks scary to sit on it, right? But we figured out how to do that with 3 materials. The first is sisu wood. So we started working on very minimal dimensions, and that's make us do a chamfering in the wood to make the sections together, and then we put the papyrus sit here, and then we connected it with cotton rope, and that's it, and thank you.
Team number 8, Frederik Refer and Niels Peltier.
Good evening, everyone. Salam alaikum. I'm Fred, and this is my design partner, Niels. We would like to share a bit of our thoughts and development that has gone into this tool. Right at the very beginning, we were very interested in the ancient tradition of placing objects within dead people's tombs. We found the concept very fascinating of giving materialistic things to a non-materialistic afterlife. Another source of inspiration was the Danish designer Børge Mogensens The People's Chair. And initially this chair was made for churches in Denmark. And we also really liked the boxy look and how the seat was different from the rest. So this also gave us a combined idea of making a squared stool for the tomb.
So going into some of the research that we did on this stool, we started off by looking at a lot of ancient Egyptian furniture, and what we found was a lot of carved or engraved or implied circles along all of them, and that circle represented the universe, not as we know it, but more so as the afterlife as they perceived it. And another motif that was within all the furniture, or a lot of them, was squares, and the square represented the earth. So with this in mind, we decided to take these carved circles along all the legs to represent that universe and the afterlife while the square of the stool itself showed the earth, showing a connection between how the afterlife is around us at all points. And going on to the ancient Egyptian afterlife and how they perceived it, when somebody died, they would go on a boat and they would go to, hopefully, the field of reeds. When they reached there, or the entrance to it, they'd have their heart weighed against a feather, and if their heart was lighter or light enough, then they would enter, but if heavier, then they wouldn't. We hope to elevate the stool and bring that lightness into the stool by chamfering the bottom of all the legs as well as the top of the apron, showing that lightness of heart. So trying to combine this idea of the tomb as well as a gravestone, we have the top here carved, but the stool's purpose could be to guide somebody along or be used during the afterlife or the passage, as well as a memorial. So each carving in the top is unique as they were carved by different people. And on the underside, we have very small engraved the name of the carver in this case. So that would be a memorial in that sense.
Team number 9, Persia Duncan and Peyao Duan.
Good evening, everyone. This is my partner, Persia, and I'm Peyao. We all came from very different culture. Persia from Canada, and I'm from China. Our stool is called Sea Breeze Woven Stool, and our stool inspired by this ancient Egyptian stool. We are very fond of the upper part of this stool. In our perspective, this part also is a supporter part of this stool. It looks very light. It also could be seen decoration. And at the same time, we also inspired by some Danish furniture, and we want to use weaving to translate this structure. We use weaving, use some fabric to go through the apron and to connect with the bottom of the beam, and to try to form an open triangle structure. And we try to design the V of weaving and design the pattern of our seat. And we also compare the scale of the original one and to decide the scale of our stool. This is all our inspiration.
For the structure of the frame, we wanted to have a very open aesthetic that would emphasize the X structure of the fabric and also provide strength. We also managed to make a completely glueless structure. The way the fabric pulls on the bottom stretchers actually pulls it all together, so it creates a really tight structure. We also use the repetition of the fabric to inform the scale of the leg, so you have this repeated grid pattern on the stool. And we have some hidden caps on the aprons that create the illusion that the fabric disappears into the structure.
Team number 10, محمد الحداد, هبة الصعيدي.
بس نحطه بس. Hello everyone. I won't sit on it. It's really a great honor to be here with you tonight. At this great place, it's really a great honor. The Grand Egyptian Museum, me, Mohammed Al-Haddad, and Heba El-Saidi will take you in a journey into the world of ancient Egyptian stools. Our inspiration comes from the shape of the duck head that exists on the legs of the ancient Egyptian folding stools. Specifically, Tutankhamun folding stool, which represent fertility in ancient Egypt. And by abstracting it to the maximum and only keeping only the main lines of the duck head. As you can see in the second slide, can we get the second slide, please? Yeah, exactly. By abstracting, okay, but was the duck head shape only to make it look beautiful? Is it only a shape to make it beautiful? No, absolutely not. It was also a clever way to the ancient Egyptian to hide the connection between the stool leg and the rounded base of the folding stool on it. So it's also a structured way. But what about sustainable and circular design? Did we manage to do something about it too? I will leave you with Heba to talk all about it.
Good evening, everyone. So we have managed to make this tool sustainable as possible, as we use natural wood such as oak and teakwood, also the linen for upholstery and fabrication, which considered as the lowest in carbon footprint among our field. The stool is light in weight, foldable. Also, the seating bed is removable, washable as well, which means the ease of being packed, stacked, and stored, shipped, and the ease of mobility to the end user as well. In short, too many pieces, less space, easy movement, mobility, and shipping with less carbon footprint. All the raw materials that we used are available from many local suppliers, making the design circular by tracking the source, which makes it easier to return and refine or replace a part of it, or refurbish it, or resell it again for a longer life, which makes it more eligible to have a DBP. Finally, therefore, we can use the duct stool. We can say that it has a wonderful combination of design and structure inspired by ancient Egyptian, but in a modern way that considers sustainability and circular design. Finally, we would like to thank everyone, Danish-Egyptian Dialogue Initiative, Designdustry, Amra Orense, of course, and the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts, Dr. Andreas and Dr. Nikolai. Thank you, everyone.
Group number 11, August Laustsen and Ulla Krautze.
Hi, good evening, everyone. August and I, Ulla, are really happy today to show our work with you. And for our stool, we drawn inspiration from the elegance of the Egyptian camel saddle. We wanted to take the best of it and create a modern and simple design. So we started with lots of sketches and lots of models, and by the time we were trying completely different things and improving along the way. But while many designs took us on unexpected paths, the idea of two pillows as legs consistently surfaced and has become a central theme in our final creation.
The stool is made of solid beech wood. The pillar or the legs are made of beech wood, and the aprons. The seating is made of 3 layers of plywood, and on the top is beech veneer to finish off. The curvature of the seat reminds of a camel saddle, inviting the user to engage with the stool from different sides. Dude. Shown. Our design is easy to assemble with just 3 flat pack pieces, and this is giving the customer the ability to disassemble and put the stool together by themselves. Yeah, And thank you all for coming.
Team number 12 زهراء الشافعي نسرين عز الدين.
Hi everyone, this is Nasreen and Zahra. When we got the design brief, we found that very challenging. So we decided to make a goal for ourselves to apply every term required from the brief. For example, form follows function, less materials, ease to manufacturing, and design in a sustainable way. So about the inspiration part, this is an ancient Egyptian stool from folding ancient Egyptian stool from the Middle Kingdom. We were inspired from its structure, to follow the function and meets the requirement of modern and contemporary life.
Okay, and here is the Mamar stool, a modern, lightweight, and foldable stool. Okay, it's easy to move, it's easy to store, and easy to pack. About the structure of the stool, it seems at first it has several legs, but actually, material-wise, it has these 8 legs equals only 1 leg in dimension of 8 by 8 centimeters. Which makes a strong structure with the minimum use of material. And about the fabric seat, it's designed in a way that we can easily unassemble it, which makes it easy to wash, easy to change if we need.
Hopefully we succeed. Thanks Daddy and Designdustry for this significant project. Thanks Andreas and Nikolai for the great effort.
It's okay. And finally, big thanks to Amra Ransa for dedicating all his effort for developing the future of design in Egypt. And thanks all for coming and enjoy the exhibition.
Team number 13, Amalie Skriver and Aida Rasmussen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amalie, and this is Aida, my design partner. And we would like to present the papyrus stool for you. From the very beginning, we were very inspired by the way the ancient Egyptians had very strong construction principles. And we aimed to learn from the way they used primitive geometry in furniture design and even in architecture, which created durability and static strength in the stools. And we were very inspired by the cube form and the sphere, and the combination of those two, and the sphere representing the sun and the universe. Also, we know that wood was a limited resource in ancient Egypt, which made the Egyptians masters of holistic design. And we also know that papyrus was not only used for storytelling by the great kings, but also for funeral sandals and baskets and many other objects.
So throughout our process, we used this primitive geometry together with papyrus to accentuate one another. To us, papyrus wasn't just durable, it's also flexible and expressively light. So we wanted to make design decisions which enhance these qualities. For instance, we wanted to give it a floating expression, and with each prototype we experimented with the curves and fine details in the legs. So after arriving in Egypt, we had the opportunity to test our materials and ended up using Egyptian oak and raw unprocessed papyrus. Thank you, everyone.
Team number 14, Ida Gufler and Niklas Fiedler.
Hello, everyone. I'm here representing both myself and my teammate, Niklas. Our stool is a foldable stool that you can carry with you on the way as a new nomadic lifestyle. We started from the idea of wanting something lightweighted. We looked at tensegrity and theories on how the pyramids were built with rope. Also, rope was seen in Egyptian furniture as a compensation for glue, because in the ancient Egypt, glue was not as strong as we have it today. So they found solution using rope. A recurring thing in, I want still the same slide, sorry. Go one back, yeah. A recurring thing in Egypt furniture is these animal legs that we were very drawn to and wanted to interpret in a modern Scandinavian way. And here is examples of sketching over existing Egypt furnitures. Yeah, like the lion and horse feet and a dog face. Next slide. We called our stool Gandofli, or in English, oyster. And the connection is made with ropes, cuts and carvings for a ball in the middle. And the hidden ball within the legs, we wanted to make a delicate detail while maintaining this seamless rotation when unfolded, and that is what we are referring to with the oyster. And we were very inspired by the Egyptian way of making joineries and details, and we wanted to aim for the same elegance. And how the wood touches the floor has played a big role in our design. And taking inspiration in the animal legs, it led us to this bony structure. And also with the cutouts, we wanted this light and structure. And also it makes it easier to grab around and you can take it with you on the go. Thanks.
We would like to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us today. Please enjoy the exhibition. Please.